I'm Kila.
And I'm Ashley.
And we met on TikTok.
2 trailers, 1 park.
And we were raised by 2 mother hustlers.
I raised my mama.
Oh my gosh, I did too.
Well, let's talk about that. We can talk shit about our moms, but no one else can. Closer to me. I mean, I sound like Josh Turner, so if y'all want me to sing Long Black Train later, I can.
All right, I'm excited because I love you, and I've loved you since I met you.
And I love you too, because you loved me, and then I loved you, and we didn't know we loved each other.
I know. And then
TikTok.
we've just become friends on TikTok. People you meet through TikTok. All right, so I'm going to ask, how did you come up with Trailer Park Chronicles?
Me and my sister own a salon together, and
Tell them the name of your salon.
Sisters with Scissors.
That's great.
We will stab you, just so you know. It's kind of like Dick's Last Resort, but for hairstylists. Like, we talk mad shit to our clients and stuff, but they love us. And, well, I don't know if they love us, but they're really scared of us, so they will never go anywhere else because they know that we'll find them. But anyways, we were at work one day, and it was, like, really slow, and she was like, did you know so-and-so did a TikTok video, and it got, like, 900 views? And I was like, really? I was like, yeah, I saw one this morning that was like things you thought were normal when you were growing up. And I was like, we should do that. And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, bitch, let's go do it. So we went in the break room and we made like 3 TikToks or 3 videos. And I posted one, not really knowing what I was doing. And then my daughter got there. Well, at the time, you'll learn this about me, that I'm always taking somebody's kids in. But I've got a solution for that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Also, I'm ADHD, so I'm all over the place. All 3 of my teenagers come in, and I was like, oh, my God, we just posted a TikTok. And they were like, oh, my God, how embarrassing. And I was like, no, it was really funny. And I was like, we got like 100 views. And they were like, whatever. And then so we made 2 or 3 more videos. But then my daughter was like, do not post those because that makes you look thirsty. Do not post it. And I was like, okay, don't post more than 1. But then everybody was like, we want more. And I was like, so I posted. And then that one went viral. And so then we were just like, oh, things you thought were normal growing up in the trailer park. We had no idea that people could actually relate to our craziness. But turns out they could. So that's kind of how we went viral, just talking shit about our past. So, you know.
And isn't it funny your kids get mad because your TikTok goes better than theirs?
Yes. And I even asked my daughter now, I'm like, you want to get on there with me? She's like, no.
And so I've got on here just some questions.
Yes.
So you married normal.
Yes.
Like Hayden's normal because you really did grow up in the trailer park. And
yes. And he is like, leave it to Beaver, normal. And, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think, does he really love me, or does he feel like his time was running out? And I was like, the last thing, like, fuck, I got stuck. Because he really is normal, and I'm not. But I bring a lot of spice to our life, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's different when I thought my husband was normal, but no, he's not normal, but.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But did he try to make you normal, or things that he wants you to do normal, and you're like, why?
Well, at first I was like, okay, first of all, don't judge me but he taught me so much.
Yes.
Like a late fee. He's like, wait, okay, first of all, I had a car, and he was like, he was going through something one day, and the paperwork fell out, and he was like, you're paying 21% interest. And I'm like, yeah, what's that mean? He's like, oh my God, we have to get rid of this car right now. And I'm like, why? And he was like, I've never paid interest on anything in my life. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, okay. And he's like, 21% interest. And I said, I just could afford the payment. Like, I don't know what the hell 21. They just said the payment's $350, and I said, I can afford that. And so I did. He was like, for 12 years, Ashley on a Chrysler. And I'm like,
well, because when you're a single mom, you go in and you tell them how much you can pay.
My mom
you don't ask
said,
how much it costs. This is what I can pay.
I didn't even know I could do that. My mom said, if they'll give it to you, you take it. It don't matter if you can afford it or not. You take, if they'll give it to you, you'll take. So I had brand new phones and, you know, all this because I was like, they said I could have it. So he's like, that doesn't mean you can afford it. I'm like, oh, I thought they were looking out for my best interest. He was like, no, bitch, they're trying to make sales. And I was like,
they're upping your interest.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, hell, I just been taking everything they give me. They're like, you can have this brand new car for 12 years. I'm like, okay.
And we were talking about this when you got there earlier, because my husband would always, because I never paid our water bill like for the first 7 years we were together. I mean, because if they turned it off, you could go turn it back on.
Right. It's not a big deal.
That's and water's not, I mean, that was the cheap bill. So I knew it was due on the 15th, but I would forget. Right. Not because we didn't have the money, I just forget.
Yeah.
So he would be so mad when he'd come home and the water would be turned off after he worked construction all day.
But, like, that's the same with me. Things are not a big deal to me that are like huge to him. I'm like, calm down. It's not that. He's like, oh my God, you paid that late. I'm like, it was $6. He's like, $6 adds up. I'm like, but I think when you're raised like in survival mode,
Yeah.
that stuff's not a big deal. I'm like, not a big deal to me.
Or if we've got money in the bank, I'm like, oh, we can go on vacation. And he's like, no, we don't have money. I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yes.
And he's like, no, we cannot
I
go.
say, Hagen, we have this much money. He's like, no, we have this much put back for the AC unit. I'm like, but we probably don't even need, we're not going to need that. We'll worry about that when it comes. He's like, that you have to save for that. I'm like, yeah, but I have a credit card that's like interest free for like a year. We'll be fine. He's like, no, but yeah, he has taught me a lot. And so now I'm way more frugal than I ever was before, or didn't realize that even if the late charge was $7, like that does add up over time.
Oh, I would be rich if I had all the late
Me too.
charges that I
Me
ever
too.
paid. Because
And
I never paid
reconnection
anything on
fees.
time. Yeah.
Yes. Like we are the reason the power company is so well off.
Yeah, reconnection fees and what is it when they they take your car?
Oh yeah. When they like
What is
repo
it?
when they
Repo.
Yes.
Repo
Yes.
fees. I might have had a couple of those.
Well, I never had that only because the guy couldn't find me. But it's because he couldn't find me. So
oh God! And my mom always thought if you had a car and you had the title, that you always had money because you could take it to the title place.
That is hilarious because so my dog. Okay, we're going to take this back to a sad note real quick. Okay. So my dog of 10 years got sick a month ago, and we took him to the vet, and they were like upper respiratory infection. But then they gave him this medicine, and it didn't work. So like a week later, I'm like, I'm taking him to the emergency vet because he's getting puny, and this. So I take him to the emergency vet, and the emergency vet says, I think he has a collapsed lung. The only thing to do with that is like surgery. Of course, that's like thousands of dollars. And then so we take him back to our vet on the next day for like a third opinion. And he's like, I think it's cancer. And I'm like, how the hell y'all gonna go from respiratory infection to collapsed lung to cancer? Like, I'm not taking that as an answer. Like, I can't sleep. So he was like, we're gonna give him this medicine. If it don't work in a week, bring him back. Basically, we were gonna put him down. I'm like, no, I can't just live with that because the diagnoses are everywhere. Hagen said, well, he did say that you can take him to this vet on 96 and they can do ultrasounds and all that. So I just Google vet on 96, right? And in Franklin. And so this vet pulls up. You can't even pronounce the name. It's like Animalia or something. I don't know. So I just call them and I'm like, hey, so I was told to call y'all and that I could walk in. And she was like, well, we don't do walk-ins, but like I could get you an appointment. I tell her what's going on. And she's like, yeah, I could understand like wanting to get a second opinion. And so I'm like, okay. So I call my husband. I'm like, I got an appointment at that place. And he was like, well, it's a walk-in place. I was supposed to be calling the animal hospital, but I didn't. Okay. So I called this like bougie ass. It's in a golf course, if that tells you anything.
Oh.
So we pull up and I'm like, oh shit. So I walk in. I'm like, should I bring the title of my car in? The woman's like, no, I don't think that's necessary. And I'm like, do you want my firstborn child? Because I can get him to come up here. And she's like, I said, it don't even smell like a vet in here. Like it smells like a hotel. I think I might be out of the tax bracket. But I'm like, well, I've already committed to this shit now. So here, I bring my dog in, and he's like looking around like, what? I mean, because normally, when we were kids, our dogs didn't go to the vet. They just went for a ride, and they just didn't come back home.
Right.
But here I am. I'm like, no, I'm going to get the best care. Well, I got the best care. But they still have not billed me. So I don't know if they felt sorry for me, which is fine if you did. Or if rich people just like, they said they would bill me, and they haven't billed me. So
I mean, I've never been to a vet where they would bill you. You had to pay for it.
I didn't either.
So you go to the vet in Franklin and they'll bill you because they think you got money.
Listen to this. 2 weeks before that, my cat got ran over. Took him to my vet while I'm sitting there like crying because he's like, he's not going to make it. Like he's patting my back going, okay, well, don't forget your debit card. Okay, let's go back up here, baby. And I'm like, okay, just use this card. And I'm like trying to pay and I'm crying. And he's like rubbing my back and he's like, it's okay. This card didn't go through because is there another card? And I'm like, he's not even cold. Yeah, like damn. And this vet, so I said, as they put my dog down, I'm like, I'm just distraught. And I'm like, do you want me to go upstairs or go out front and check out? And she goes, no, honey, they'll invoice you. And I was like, invoice me? Y'all don't know. I will run. Like, y'all will never catch me.
Those are the bills that we don't pay.
Exactly. I was like, I got in the car and I was like, so I'm going to sit here for like 10 minutes because I don't know what invoice me means in quotations because like our vet would be like, do not let her leave. Do not let her leave. But I still haven't got invoiced. So I don't know what that means. But yeah, but first thing I
know what that bill is.
But on Google, I gave them 5 stars, and I said, just to let y'all know, I don't think I'm in the right tax bracket for y'all's clientele. However, I do recommend bringing your dog here. Just bring the title to your car when you come. I'm pretty sure they deleted the thing like, oh, dear God. But, I mean, they still haven't. That's probably why they didn't invoice me because they're scared I'm going to change my damn Google review or something. But whatever. I told Hagen, I was like, You were born with an 800 credit score. Get up there and pay him. I wasn't, but he was. Anyways.
Okay, and we were talking about this, like my kids, because I grew up poor, and like sometimes we didn't have lights and water, and but my kids think that they were poor growing up, and I made sure that they always had that.
Yeah.
But if you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, we didn't have money growing up."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, "What?"
Well, my kids think that until I met Hagen because we were.
Well, mine do remember when I didn't have Brian.
Yeah, when we were living on a prayer. Yeah, they remember that, and it was that was. They do remember that. But then when we met Hagen and he was like, we eat every last bean. That's why the rich get richer, is because they don't waste. I'm very wasteful, or I was very wasteful. But Hagen's like, you threw away a soft taco from Taco Bell? When did we have money to be throwing away soft tacos? And I'm like, it was 89 cents. And he's like, yeah, that's 89 cents. I'm like, okay, I'll get it out of the trash can and eat it. Like, but we were poor. How, like, that makes no damn sense to me. How are we poor, yet we're wasteful? Like, that's backwards. Were y'all wasteful?
I'm wasteful now.
Yeah.
But no, back then, probably not.
We were. I think Mom was so high.
I probably was. Well, I probably was because my mom bartended, and I think she might have stripped a little bit.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
we always had money. But we had money, but then it would all go away.
Yeah.
And so if that makes any sense.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like I would,
It's like income tax rich. Like,
income tax time was the best time of my whole life.
Oh, yeah, us too.
we would get everything.
Yeah, first time I went to Walmart was because we got income taxes.
Like we would always go get furniture at Rent-A-Center. Mm-hmm. And then by like
oh yeah, after the
March,
money run, yeah,
we had no furniture.
right.
They would come get it.
I have had furniture.
They'd be
repoed.
knocking at the door.
Yes.
You didn't answer.
Yes, I have had furniture repoed. Yeah, bed, washer and dryer, like basically my whole damn house one time. I was like, oh, we're gonna be camping, kids. This is fun. We're getting a new set.
I never went to Rent-A-Center.
I did
when I got older with my kids because. I mean, I didn't want it to be taken away, and it probably would have.
Well,
so it was always taken away when I was young.
Mine was like a last-ditch effort. Like I did not have, when I left Jaden's dad, I had nothing. Just all I came with was a recliner and a TV cabinet. No bed, no dresser, no nothing. I actually did not do Rent-A-Center then. But when I married my ex-husband, Satan himself, or Satan, spawn of Satan.
We can have a douchebag dad episode.
Yeah, we could do that. He left me with nothing, and so I was like, well, I'll just go to Rent-A-Center, which was so dumb. Like, I probably could have just got on Facebook and said, has anybody got a free couch? But, I was just thinking, like, I work, so I'm going to have something nice. Bitch, you're paying $7,000 for a $300 couch. Like, so, yeah, I did do it twice. But then that was another thing. Hagen was like, this furniture's rented. I'm like, well, it's rent to own. I'm going to own it. He's like, we're sitting on rented furniture. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to own it. He's like, how many people have owned it before you? I'm like, probably nobody. I think it was new. And he was like, no. We'll sit on the floor. Let them take it back. And I'm like, you're just going to let them repo my furniture? He's like, yes, you don't. Yeah, he had to literally rewire my brain as far as like finances went.
Yeah, it's still hard to get. I mean,
yes.
Even as an adult, I was always an adult, I guess.
Right.
I just didn't act like it.
Right.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like my 40s probably is when I finally.
Because I'm 39, and now I'm like, if Hagen wants to leave me today, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
With the knowledge that I have, and like I would, which I was okay then. I just didn't make great decisions. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Well, But my kids are good.
Yeah, mine too.
Thank gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, they, if we were poor,
right,
they did good for themselves.
Exactly.
Like Emily's on her way to Iceland right now.
And it builds character,
It does.
Like, who sits around and talks about having perfect Christmases? Nobody gives a shit about that.
They're good kids, too.
Exactly.
Because they were not entitled.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they're humble, and they have empathy, and they're compassionate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. I think that's great. I honestly do think that's great.
Oh, Lord. Trent, did you grow up that way? Did your furniture ever get repoed?
No. Sorry. I guess I'm super privy and blessed.
You're really not. You're just normal.
Normal's a cycle in the wash.
Well, true.
I hate using the word normal, but
you're regular.
I was yeah.
Did your lights ever get cut off?
Yeah. I mean we definitely had our struggles, but and penny pinching, and we definitely had our struggles, but no, we didn't have furniture repoed.
Okay, so I was watching some of your TikToks today, and I was watching the one where you said the lady in the trailer park got on disability for alcoholism.
Yes.
What?
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
And then she was like, but after that happened, like her trailer, they were lined up out the door.
Oh, yeah, she was getting everybody. Once she found the loophole, everybody was getting it for alcoholism. But our mom, who wouldn't hit a lick at shit, was like, I'm not getting on disability because I can work. But you don't, bitch, so get down there and get us a check. Like, she's like, yeah, but once you get on it, you can't work. But you're not going to. You never have. Like, how are you going to be too good to get disability for alcoholism?
Wild.
But, yeah, they stopped that
wild.
after that. Our landlord was the one that was like, hey, she was the ringleader. And then once she got the one girl, she done pimped everybody out. She was like, no, you get over and get you a check. Because the landlord knew if everybody got a check, she was going to get paid. So
that's a hustle.
Yeah, she was securing her own shit.
My mom worked at Nissan driving the cars. It was like IML back in the day. And that was the only, like, she probably worked there for 8 years.
Oh, nice.
And that was the only stable job she ever had.
Yeah.
She worked at Kroger for a few months, but she was scared when she went to Kroger. She had to work a computer and she didn't know how to do it. So she left the training. But other than that, she bartended.
Well,
and so she would never, like, it was never stable. Like, she would bartend here, and then if she wanted to go on vacation, she would leave. And then, like,
but she was a hustler.
They would call going, is Wanda around? I'd be like, no.
That's right. Mama said, I ain't going to put in applications. Hell, they might call me. I'm like, well, you need to go. but no, she worked one time for 2 years at the nursing home in the kitchen. And then her drug, I feel like then she wasn't like super strung out because she went through many years of being so strung out that she couldn't function. But then like that, I think that was like 2 years where she was functioning, and then I think she went off the deep end, and that's where she lost her job. But yeah, she didn't really work, which is weird because I just find that strange because to have a drug addiction, you think you want to be able to fuel it some way.
Yeah.
But she had us kids, and we were kind of her meal ticket. Like, I loved her, and she loved us, but, I mean, we kind of were. She knew she was always going to have a place to live and, food and stuff because she had kids. So, back then you got welfare, which they don't really do much anymore. But, I mean, God love her. I feel like she done the best she could with what
she knew.
Yeah. But, yeah, she did not do what I would.
Now, what was your mom addicted to?
Mainly opiates, but really, like, thank God she passed away before heroin came back because that would have been her. That would have been her thing. But she liked pain pills. But she liked muscle relaxers, and
now,
she was a pill.
Was your mom, like, my mom was normal on pain pills. That's when she was her normal self.
Oh, yes. Mama
if she didn't have them, then she couldn't function.
Yes. Mom was June Cleaver on pain pills. When you came in and the music was playing and Mama was standing up and not laying in the bed or on the couch, you already knew Mama got her some Lortabs. I was like 13 years old, like, I got $12. Anybody got a Lortab for Mama? So I want some supper tonight.
Wow.
Like for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's when my mom was normal, was taking, if she didn't have her pills, then, I mean, she would lay in the bed. And then she would, like, try to take something.
Yes, to
like
keep
a Valium to keep from going into withdrawals until she got her prescription filled.
Yes. And then
epidemic, man.
And then she would, like, trade them with her friends.
That's
like, that was a big, and I'm like, why are you giving your damn pills away?
Yep.
Oh, so-and-so
she owed it.
one. Yeah.
She owed it for when she was sick.
She would, Yeah.
My mom got on methadone, and I was like, no, that's for heroin addicts, and it's awful. But my mom was absolutely normal, and that was the best 4 years of our life. Literally, she was normal. She would call me and be like, hey, I was just wanting to see the kids. She had never called me and asked to see my kids. She had, but she was like, can you bring $50 with the kids? I'm like, I'll just bring the $50 because it sounds like you're desperate, so we're not going to bring the kids. But, like, she would call me and be like, hey, do you want me to do all your laundry while you're working? Like, she was a normal mom. But then you had, in the methadone world, you had to, like, pass drug tests to phase up, and she didn't have a car or license, so she depended on other people, and she would not stop smoking pot to pass the drug test to level up. Like, it was so dumb. It's like, Mom, just give up the pot. Like, now they probably don't even care about the pot, but back in 2009, if you failed for pot, then you automatically went back down to, like, level 1, and it was just like she just couldn't beat the system with it, so she had to end up.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I mean, it's the government's drug dealing. That's all it is.
It is.
It's government drug dealer, but it makes people function, and so I'm for it if you use it like you're supposed to use it. However you have to function, that's on you. That ain't on me. But it did make my mom normal. And
what did? Sorry.
Methadone.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, we never went through the Suboxone methadone stuff. Hers was Oxycontin, like Oxycontin and Lortab and
Mom's
morphine.
Yeah, morphine was horrible for Mom. I hated when she was on morphine.
And then, like, if I got sick or had cramps, and she would be like, oh, we'll take half of this.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like, how the hell you function?
Yeah,
I'd be
exactly.
throwing up the next day when I woke up. I can't do pain pills. I throw up. I get sick as a dog.
Yep.
I have
My
to do a
sister
half
does.
of a half of a half.
Yep. My sister's like that.
Like when I'm having
sad.
surgery, I will throw up until they finally just put me out.
They don't really do anything for me. Like, I get chatty and like,
You get high, like,
yeah, but I don't
not
like to
high,
clean my
but-
house and stuff. Like, they got like energy and shit. Like, I didn't get no, like, I was like, oh, it's okay.
now like if I take a Benadryl instead of being knocked out, it makes me wired.
Oh, no, it knocks me out.
Does it knock
but
you
I am
out?
ADHD, and so a lot of stuff that does,
Yeah.
like energy drinks, well, I can go straight to sleep. Coffee, straight to sleep.
Drink Diet Coke all day
Yep.
and go straight to bed. Yeah.
Yep. Coffee, I need a nap after I drink coffee. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's a
have-
stimulant, and so our brains don't work like, you know what I mean? Like, for most people, it would wire you up. It almost calms us because our brains are already, like, wired. It does the exact opposite. Because if I do, like,
Now, did your mom do drugs while she was pregnant with you, do you think?
yes.
Like, I think that I tell Dixie all the time, I'm like, my mom was I say crackhead. She never did
Right,
crack, but I
right.
just say crackhead. But I'm like, I think that's why I'm short. It's stunning my growth. And I
Well,
think
my mom
that's what-
drank
yeah,
the whole time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my mom would like trade, like she would drink and then she would almost trade one thing in for another.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was her.
Yeah.
If she got off of something, then she was doing something else.
Yep. Mom didn't get into heavy drugs until after I was born, but she drank the whole time she was pregnant. My nanny would say, that baby's going to come out with a 6-pack. And Mama would say, no, it's going to be 2 40s because that's what Mom drank was 40s. Like, how are you going to be like 89 pounds with like a 40 Old English? Like, I swear she was like reincarnated old black man. She really was. But yeah, she was a drinker. So I'm pretty sure I have like fetal alcohol syndrome. Like,
Yes.
I could probably get on disability. I've been thinking about that. Social Security people, if y'all hear me. I mean, seriously.
I know. And there's so many people that are like it. It's
Yeah.
like surprising when
Oh,
you
so surprising.
TikTok it out and they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you too? And I'm like,
And-
oh,
or they're
my
even
crazy's,
crazier.
yeah, my crazy's normal.
Yes.
There's a lot of people.
Or they're crazy. You're like, damn, I'm like, good. I'm like highfalutin over here. Y'all had it real rough.
Well, when I talked to like Dixie and Cassie talking about their childhood, I thought mine was bad, and then
Right.
they talk about
Yeah.
it. Because even though my mom was crazy, she was there and she loved me, and everything she did, whether it was stripping or bartending,
Right.
or my dad who raised me calls her a man hustler because she was
I mean, yeah, she used what she had.
for me. Yeah,
Our mom would not. She was too proud, which was almost like it's good, but at the same time, it's like, dude, we didn't have to go hungry. You were sitting on a gold mine. That's what she used to tell us. You're sitting on a gold mine. I'm like, you were sitting on a gold mine. Why were we hungry? Like, so it was weird that she was prideful.
yeah. But then we would like go through that, and then her sisters all were like. Well, I have one aunt who's normal, but the two younger ones were like welfare and, no lights, no water. You walk in the house and fleas were all over your legs. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, so she took me out of that.
Yeah.
And
Because your
so-
mom was bougie.
Yeah, she was.
Because she was kind of fancy.
oh,
She
yeah.
was like really
she was
pretty.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
And my dad, and she was a man hustler until she met my poor stepdad. Bless his heart, he's amazing. I love my whole step family, but it wasn't until after.
Right.
I'm sure they had suspicion.
Right.
Over the the 15 years they were together, but
Right.
I just always thought, y'all don't even know.
Right. Yeah. But thank God for, because he's stable. Right?
Yeah, he's amazing. I was blessed to have two dads.
Oh,
So when I found out I had another one, I was like, what?
damn.
Daddy who?
Right.
But yeah, so I always feel bad for Dixie and them when they talk about their childhood. Because Cassie's mom, I love you, Cassie, like they were shooting up her IV bag while they were, her mom was having her.
Oh.
Like she was a real crack
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Like, the
Yeah,
dad
that
was shooting up the IV bag, and I think they had to make an incision in her head and
In Cassie's head?
let it like
Oh.
like to
The pressure?
uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like she was in the hospital. She came home like a real bad. She has migraines and stuff from it now. She
Oh,
still has a
damn.
lot of
That is sad.
complications, but
Our mom didn't get on drugs until, I want to say like 85 or 86, 87. And I was born in 83. So she was just like, she just drank constantly before that. And pot, but nothing like, I don't think she did.
yeah, and it's that addictive personality. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like she just couldn't. When my mom was drinking, I mean, my gosh, it was like in the mornings, and then you find shit under
Yep.
the bed, and
Yep.
my stepdad would call going, what are we going to do? And I'm like, well, pour a bucket of water on her head and
Right.
let's take her to rehab. I mean,
Yep.
I just go pack her up and we'd
How many times did she go to rehab?
Let's see, she went several times when I was young, but I think she went twice with Ralph. By then, she already had liver disease, and I'm like, why are you drinking? So I would get mad at her.
Yep.
Because
we don't understand that.
No.
Because I don't
have an addictive personality, so I don't get that.
I don't either.
I mean, I guess I do.
But we fight
I'm
it.
addicted to Diet Coke and lip gloss.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I'm not.
Exactly. Yes.
Lip gloss.
Yes.
I can do it all
Mountain
day.
Dew, which is like they sponsor the trailer park or something. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure, like when you have a baby, like from the trailer park, they send you like 3 cases of Mountain Dew. Like, go ahead and get it addicted to this. So I do like my Mountain Dew, but yes, I do have it. But I refused to do anything that was like super crazy because I was like, shit'll grab a hold of me and I won't be able to get loose.
Yeah, I just never understood. I'm like, why are you
just
doing
choose?
it?
It's a choice. That's what I would say. It's a choice. You're choosing.
And
this.
then
But,
after she passed away, I'm like, well, I'm sure she did hurt and stuff and wanted,
Yeah.
And so then I felt bad, but sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Sorry, Barbara.
You were still out there.
Right. Still a little screwed up, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But you did a DNA test too and found
a
siblings.
sister. Yes.
See how much we have in common, Trent? We're sisters.
Yeah. I'm surprised we're not sisters because obviously my dad was like had litters of.
Well, you did ancestry though.
Yes.
You probably should do. We should probably interact those. And
We
do
probably
one.
should.
We might be third cousins.
Well, I've done ruined enough lives at this point. I'm like, I probably should just stop because I found that I did it to see what kind of mutt I was because my husband's like, he's so damn Irish he might as well be a damn leprechaun. You know what I mean? Like his birthday's St. Patrick's Day. His name's Patrick. Like you don't get no more Irish than that. But anyways, actually, I'm more Irish than he is. Isn't that funny?
I don't even know what I am, and I did one. I just found out I had a bunch of siblings.
Oh, you stopped. You were like, oh, siblings.
Yeah.
Well, mine was like confusing because it would be like sibling or first cousin, and I'm like, okay, probably first cousin or closer. I'm like, how do you get closer than a sibling? Like, did I give birth to you? Like, I didn't. Anyways, the person that it said, I went to Facebook because it was like, it said half sibling or first cousin. Well, my dad's got 9 siblings, so I'm like, oh, it's probably a first cousin, which he is, I think, like the runt of the only one that was kind of, well, maybe not. Anyways, I went to Facebook, couldn't find the girl, and I was like, so I just left it be. And then, like, I feel like 6 months went by, and they messaged me or I messaged them, and the woman was like, it said that her account was being managed by someone. So I thought she died because I'm like, why would somebody manage your ancestry account? You know?
Who said the sister? Or,
Yeah, the sister. It said
cousin?
that her account was being managed by this other woman. So I just assumed, well, that must mean that she passed away, and this woman just like is doing her lineage, whatever. So I reached out, or they reached out, and she was like, no, but if you don't want to pay for the service, someone that does pay for the service can manage your account, and they can see. It's a kind of a way to cheat the system. It's like Netflix giving people your password kind of thing. She was like, message her on Facebook. This is what it's under. It's not under this. And so I got on there, and I was like, holy shit, she looks just like me. And so I sent it to my sister, who we're full-blooded, and I was like, this might be our sister. And I was like, but do you think she looks like? She goes, she looks more like you than I look like you. Like, how the hell?
Yeah, I've seen her. She does.
Yeah. So I messaged her, and she was like, yeah, I don't know who my daddy is. And I put it out there, and I'm like, so I asked so the woman that was managing her account, I assumed was her mom. So I called my dad. I'm like, do you know this woman? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Well, maybe your brothers do. And he was like, yeah. Well, then when I got a hold of her, she was like, no, that's just a lady that I know. But my mom's name is this. And I called her back, and I was like, do you know this lady? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, guess what, Tootybug? You got a kid by her, and she's 35 years old. And he was like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah. So she only lived like 5 miles from Dad, like the whole time. And he says he thought he saw her one time at an AA meeting because he does AA, which I think we're supposed to keep anonymous, but whatever. I ain't in the damn thing. But anyways, he said, I saw her and I thought, damn, she looks just like my youngest daughter. He goes, but by the time I made it to her, she was already gone. Of course, she didn't know him. But then come to find out, my older cousin babysat them because they're from the same Bordeaux, the same community. It's a tiny little community in Nashville. Like, so they all knew each other. But my dad didn't know that was his kid.
Now, did her and your dad meet?
Yes. We all met at Cheddar's like 2 or 3 years ago. She's precious, like so precious. I don't know if her and Dad stay in contact because me and Dad don't stay in contact. So, and I don't stay in contact with her, not like because it's just we're busy. Like, I'll reach out every once in a while and be like, hey, how are you doing? And she'll do the same. But I don't know. I always feel weird like asking, like, do you talk to Dad? Like, 'cause I don't really know. So I'm like, if she wants me to know, she'll let me know. But she's precious. He did have some precious kids. Not real sure how, but he did. Anyway.
All right. Well, I think it's about time we have to wrap this up because.
But this was so much fun.
Yeah. I know. I need you in my life doing this.
Yeah.
All the time.
I told Kila, she said, can we do this like all the time? I said, look, I'm not an alpha female, but I can't, I would feel really awkward being like the one that's not the sister on the Lost and Found Sisters. So.
Well, I told her we could change the name. But we might have to be like the, we can't do Twisted Sisters because it's already taken.
And we can't do Trailer Park Sisters because that sounds like me and my sister.
My husband said we should be sisters that are sisters twisted.
Sisters that are partially twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I about made a shirt that said Twisted Sisters.
Well, you know, there's a band called Scissor Sisters or something, and we're sisters with scissors at work.
Whoa.
And this guy came all
Pause.
the way an hour away just to our salon because that was his favorite band, which I've never even heard of. But I was like, that's odd, but
Hey.
what's it like to have a lot of time in your life?
That's
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
that's really funny.
But whatever.
Hey, this was a great foundation.
I know.
Yeah, because we have so much more.
Oh, yeah, that's just a little
this
bit.
was.
Yeah. Breaking the ice.
Well, I'm here for it. We'll push record every single time.
Good.
Ashley, thank you for being here.
Yes.
This was fun.
This is my dream, is to have a podcast.
We'll come through.
Yes, like for
Hey.
real. Kila's gonna make it happen. It might not be the
that's-
best, but
Hey,
she gonna
but
make
you gotta
it.
start somewhere,
No,
and
you
that
need, everybody
yo,
needs a
that
Kila.
is
Everybody needs a Kila.
1,000%. The fact that
Yes.
you just like went all in, ripped the Band-Aid off. That's
And there's so much to tell.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's no way to dumb it down. You just have to.
Say
you got to
it.
push record and
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
a lot of people have a lot of crazy stories
And
to
I
tell
love
that
to hear
are
people's stories.
I know.
y'all
I love
got cadence. Y'all got some chemistry. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
We do. We've
Yeah.
had chemistry from the beginning.
Dude,
She was my
hang on.
favorite TikToker. I'm telling you.
That's so
I know.
weird because I didn't even know she followed me. When I followed them, I was like, oh my god, this is freaking great.
You fangirled on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And man, I'm
Because
saying.
I'm telling you, I was sitting at home one night and I got like 4 messages and they were like, do you know the Lost and Found Sisters? I'm like, I told Hagen, I was
oh
like,
my gosh.
why did I get why have I gotten 4 people asking me this? And Hagen's like, I don't know. And then someone was like, they mentioned you on the live. And I was like, what the hell? So I go over there like thinking I'm like really about to meet some celebrities, which they
Yeah.
were because Kila's ass was like, we're going to be on every news station, radio.
Hey, we're just
Today
getting
show.
warmed up, man.
Yeah.
We're just
Kila's
trying
a
to
go-getter. You need a Kila in your life. 'Cause
That's
I'm
facts.
not.
And I'm
I'm a
super,
bullshitter, but Kila's a go-getter.
But our stories go together too. They
they do.
intertwine.
And it's a flow. This
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
This was really good. And
I mean,
I'm
and we
pumped
have
about it all.
great siblings. It's just they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
as into it as we
Exactly.
And it's a whole process to
It is. I
line
think with-
everything up and
especially with anything
and they're
entertaining.
busy, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. Like it takes like a perfect storm to make this type of stuff happen. But we can do that. And
Yeah.
y'all, I mean, Kila or Cassie and Dixie, man. Anytime they want to call in, or like we
Jessica?
can literally and Jessica, is that your sister?
Yes. Yes.
Shouts to Jessica as well.
And
Shouts
Charlie,
to the,
Susie, Tina, and
Lynn,
Don't leave
Josh,
anybody out.
Danielle,
Charlie.
Haley.
Wasn't there 1,100 on your?
I was
DNA
showing
test?
him on my DNA test how every week I get like you've got
Oh yeah.
You got
Matches.
1,100 new stuff. Dude, that cracked me up. I'm
family
sorry.
members, and I'm like,
Yeah. Don't click on it.
and I'm like,
just
I don't even
started
know.
to touch,
I don't
yeah.
even have cousins. I had 3 growing up.
Yeah, that's what my dad
Don't
always
click
said.
on it.
That's my aunt's cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's so funny. But hey, this was awesome. Ashley, thank you for coming
Yeah.
up.
Thank y'all for
We're
having me. I
gonna-
love
we're-
this.
Hey, well, we're gonna figure this out, and we're cooking with gas. So
Yes.
super
Listen,
pumped for
and we have a
everybody.
new phone number, but I don't even know what it is right now.
So next
I
time.
almost remember it.
We're
which is
gonna have
weird.
to put. We'll just put
The
it in
last 4 are 0933.
And that's all we
Look
need
it
to
up.
know.
the first 3 are
So
615.
y'all
And then
guess
it's
it.
those middle 3.
Look, see, y'all guess it, and whoever gets it right
You
wins.
might be on the show.
It may be 601.
Or
That sounds
No, I'm just
close.
kidding.
I know 0933 is right. I'm got a weird memory. But anyway,
Just call
thank you
us.
for coming up, Ashley.
Yes, thank y'all for
Keela.
having me. I love
We've
this. This was
been-
great.
This is.
So what are y'all doing tomorrow?
All right, we're gonna push record. We're gonna push record. But my lost and found sisters, twisted
Yes.
sisters,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it.
Trailer Park
Hey,
Chronicles.
y'all give us a name.
Trailer
how we
Park
would.
Chronicles as
Yes.
well, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
but if
everybody.
the Lost and Found Sisters and the Trailer Park collide, what would we call it?
Yeah.
All right,
Love y'all,
people.
mean it. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Yes.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
This is great. Bye.